Welcome back, Romantic Home family, and welcome if y'all are new. I am Olivia with Olivia's Romantic Home. In today's video, I am so excited to share with you guys some DIY patriotic decor crafts, and I'm going to give a little bit of a Love Shack fancy shabby chic flair to these because my home is super girly with lots of pinks. So I want to make this kind of rustic, primitive, shabby chic, but you guys can make it however you want to. So all you need is some creativity, scissors, and loads of fabric. Well, actually not even loads of fabric, but just grab into your craft stash or maybe pop over to Hobby Lobby or Walmart. They have tons of fabric, and even Dollar Tree has fabric. So we're going to be doing this awesome American flag. Well, it's a patriotic rag, primitive flag, and then some fabulous stars. And then we're even gonna make the most adorable little fabric flower. I need to make a bunch of these, but I started running out of time because you guys, this flag took a long time. So pop a TV show on if you're gonna be cutting scraps. Listen, without further ado, go ahead and plug in those glue guns, get out your glitter and paint, and let's get to crafting. Okay, sweet friends, let's make the most adorable rag flag. So I'm just taking some shabby chic rags. I cut this blue piece of ribbon to let me know that that's how long I wanted each rag piece to be. And I cut them about 1/2 inch to 1 inch wide. And then length, gosh, I would say these are probably 24 to 48 inches. They're pretty long. I wanted a pretty big flag. And then for my flag, what I'm tying them onto, you guys, I needed a wooden dowel, and I didn't have one. So I just took 2 shish kebab sticks and taped them together, and then taped those 2 together to make, I really wanted to make a big flag. So I'm using shabby chic white, some lace, and then a pale pink, and then a red for the colors. To keep my flag looking more shabby chic, I used several rows of laces in the shabby chic fabric and then the pink, and then added in the red, not as generously as I did the white and pink, because I really want this to be in honor of the American flag, yes, but I want it to be primitive and sweet and more shabby chic to match my home decor. Now, I had some scrap blue fabric, and my original idea was to paint stars onto the blue fabric. I know that they do make fabric with stars, but I didn't want to stop everything I was doing, drive 30 minutes across town to Hobby Lobby, buy fabric, and then drive back home when I knew I could create something cute and budget friendly without wasting the gas and the money. But if I am over on that side, I might stop and pick up some star fabric, because this was a little bit of a thing. I had to look it up and make sure it was okay to attach just a couple of stars onto it. And it said when you make a primitive flag that it's okay, and most people use 3, 5, or 7 or 9 stars. So mine was not big enough really for 7, and it was going to be too hard to cut small stars. So I just cut 3 small ones and then attached that to the top of my flag. Then I got the fun idea to trim out the blue fabric with some little shabby chic ruffle. So I handmade ruffle from the original shabby chic kind of roses. It was like a ditzy rose pattern. And I made that ruffle by hand and then attached the ruffle to the top and the bottom of my pretty flag. This was definitely a labor of love and took me several hours. So I am only putting 3 DIYs in this video today because it was so time consuming, but I wanted to make it really good. A lot of times I won't finish my crafts all the way like how I would really do it, because it's so time consuming to put 5 to 6 DIYs in my video like I usually do. This one, I just really wanted this to be so beautiful, and I actually want to make 2 of these and possibly put 1 on each mirror in my living room. But for now, I'm just going to hang it in my studio. I still need to undecorate a little bit from Easter and get my patriotic decor going inside my home. But look at how beautiful it turned out. Those red strings were just some Christmas ribbon that I cut really, really small, and they're actually kind of sparkly, but look at how cute it turned out. What do you guys think? I feel like it still honors our American flag really well, but also incorporates, just the shabby chic decor. And I want to thank everybody for their service that is watching. God bless y'all, and God bless all those families. We really are so thankful for you. So for the next DIY, I want to share with you guys how to make a super cute little star with, this is just an index folder, and I had some ideas for this. So I wanted to make a shabby chic star garland for my mantle. That is my idea for this craft. So I went to town just tracing out stars, which I'm not the best star maker, but you know what? I still want to do this craft, so I'm just going to keep going for it. And I mean, is there a perfect way to make a star? Anyway, these are handmade and they're supposed to be look a little primitive. So my first idea was to cover this with some of that shabby chic fabric that I had used, and that way it will kind of match my rag flag. And so I went and did two of these with the shabby chic fabric. And then I thought, well, I wanted to have some color with red, white, and blue. So then I decided to paint some with some pale pink. I don't think I have red on hand, but I still want it to be a little bit more shabby chic. So I'm going to do a pink star and then lay lace over it, which wasn't my original plan. And I did kind of start realizing that that folder wasn't going to really hold its shape very well, and they are curling up a little bit the last time I checked. So if you guys do this craft, just note to self, if you have time to go to Dollar Tree and maybe pick up some of their just wooden stars, it would be not as budget friendly, but it would probably be more of a longevity craft. So I may pop into Dollar Tree and pick up some stars. But anyway, so then I got the brilliant idea, which I don't know how brilliant this is, but I wanted my stars to have lace on them. And one way you could do this is to actually lace paint this with some paint. And I've done that before. I don't even know why I wasn't thinking about that. But instead, I decided to hot glue lace to the front of each star. So these stars were also a little bit labor intensive, but they're a labor of love for sure. It was a bit tricky cutting them all out after I got those all glued on, and I did 6 of these just so you guys know. I also did this blue color, and I was a little bit disappointed in my choice of blue, but I don't have a lot of really true blue in my crafting stash. Or maybe I do, and it's just gotten kind of rearranged. I've been trying to declutter and downsize. Anyway, that's a story for another day. I'm going to use a ribbon and attach the little stars with a little ribbon on top to one big long piece of ribbon. And once I had that done, so I just hot glued like a little tie to the top and then tied that to the ribbon. Here is how it's looking. So I was worried it was going to just look like starfish. And if you think about it like that, you can't unsee it. So I don't know, you guys. Let me know what you think. It's definitely a cute little star garland. I kind of love it though, too. It's just so cute, and it's a labor of love. So I may go back and try to change out some of the stars, or I may just leave this one out in my studio for remembering this cute little project that just really came out of my mind. I just love to craft and just from things that are coming out of my mind. So for the next DIY, we're going to take some of those scraps because we don't want any scrap to be left behind, not in this crafting studio. I decided to go back to using the little bit of blue fabric that I have in my craft stash. So I'm going to hot glue this to a round. And I wanted to make like a patriotic flower with some of my craft pieces. So I just cut some strips from the original garland that we made, or not the garland, but the flag that we made. And I hot glued the blue fabric to the front of this wooden round. You guys could also use a piece of fabric. And then you're just going to take some of those little pieces and kind of glue and ruche them onto your wooden round. And then I'm going to trim them into kind of a petal shape. And I'm going to do that for several of them, making red and white and then having blue as the center. And here's how my super adorable little kind of primitive patriotic ribbon flower is going along. Now everybody fusses that I don't do the backs of my craft, so I'm going to do the back of this one because I put an arrangement and the mirrors behind it or whatever. I want it to not look crazy, but I still feel like it came out a little crazy. Now this was at the end of my crafting session, so give me some grace. I needed to make a bunch more of these and make them into like a little bouquet, but that's for another day as well. Maybe we'll pick up where we left off. So usually I show you guys Benji Bear towards the end of the video, but I found this really cool giant moth and I just had to share a video of it. It's called I think it's Cecropia moth. I'm not really know that I'm saying it right, but it is this giant rare moth that you don't see very often, and it's spelled Cocopia or Cpua. But it's really, really beautiful, and its wingspan is about 6 inches wide. And they have this crazy story about how once they mate, they don't eat, and then they only live for like 2 weeks. I don't know. And I wasn't for sure if maybe it was dead, but it had really big eyes and feathery antennas. And it was just the neatest moth I think I've ever seen. Can you guys see its eyes? I feel like this is a National Geographic episode, but I just thought it was really, really neat. If you're grossed out by bugs, I'm so, so sorry. Usually Benji Bear is trotting along, but I thought you guys might want to see something different. I mean, sometimes it's fun to see new things. And off it went. And then here is a leopard moth. Have you guys ever seen a leopard moth? There were just some really cool moths that I saw. So I hope you guys love it. Benji Bear does say hi. He's snoozing right next to me. We love you guys so, so much. Happy crafting and God bless you. So thank you all so much for joining me on another fun and fabulous crafting and decorating adventure. This was so absolutely the most fun ever that I have had. Super, super fun, super easy to do, and super budget friendly. So I hope you guys are going to try some of these. Now listen, I have been sharing a devotional with you guys in every video, and this week we are on a new one, and this one is called Self-Control. I'm going to hold it up so you guys can see it and possibly screenshot it if you need to. This is going to be an awesome one because don't we all need a little bit of help with self-control? So let's see what this one has to say. Synopsis for self-control. Self-control is the spirit-empowered ability to govern our impulses and align our choices with God's will. It serves as a foundation for spiritual growth and effective Christian living. Mastery through grace. The stark comparison in Proverbs that a person without self-control is like a city whose walls are broken through, and that's Proverbs 25:28, vividly illustrates the protective nature of this virtue. Self-control serves as our spiritual defense system, guarding our hearts and lives against harmful influences. Like walls that protect a city from invasion, self-control helps us maintain spiritual and moral integrity in a world full of temptations. Paul's insight that God's grace teaches us to say no to ungodliness in Titus 2:11-12 reveals that self-control isn't merely about willpower, but about cooperation with divine grace. This transformative power enables us to resist temptation and choose godliness. Like a skilled teacher who both instructs and empowers, God's grace both shows us the way and gives us strength to follow it. The apostles' athletic metaphor of disciplining the body, 1 Corinthians 9:24-27, emphasizes that self-control requires intentional training and practice. Just as athletes subject themselves to rigorous training for temporal prizes, we're called to discipline ourselves for spiritual purposes. Like muscles that grow stronger through consistent exercise, self-control develops through regular practice and deliberate choices. The assurance that God has given us a spirit of power, love, and self-discipline, 2 Timothy 1:7, connects self-control to divine empowerment rather than mere human effort. This isn't about gritting our teeth, but about accessing God's strength. Like a power tool that accomplishes what God's tools cannot, spirit-enabled self-control achieves what willpower alone could never accomplish. And the blessing for this week on self-control says, may God's Spirit empower you with self-control this week, giving you strength to choose His best in every situation. Love this. And reflection question. In what areas do you most need self-control right now? What specific boundary could you set this week? Okay, here's my confession, you guys. I struggle so bad with sugar cravings. I love sugar. I'm a little sugar bear. I've always been a little sugar bear. And I think it's okay sometimes to have some sugar. Yes, absolutely. But I crave sugar a lot. And I've tried different things to get these cravings under control. And I think it's just always something that I am going to wrestle with. So I've been trying to do a lot more fruit sugar, and then also once a week I am just going to completely fast off of any sugar. So I did that last week on Friday and Saturday, and I can already tell like the inflammation around my cheeks and in my tummy is so much better. So if you guys want to do a sugar fast with me, pick a day this week and just do not eat any processed sugar. And if you can go the whole week, definitely try for that. So much of our food has processed sugar, and that does not include fruit sugar, so you guys can have plenty of fruit. So anyway, always consult with your doctor, but that's just something I am doing. I hope you guys are inspired. Listen, I love you all so much. I have some super fun videos for you guys this week. I'm gonna hug all of your hearts so tight. Until our next video, be kind to yourselves, be kind to one another, and we'll talk to you guys very soon.